So, Katy Jo here from Hope Sussex Community, and I am joined by the one and only John Hamer. Thank you so much for joining me today, John, for a very quick chat. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Katy Jo, and yeah, looking forward to this. It should be a bit of
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. So we have John Hamer coming to Hope Sussex on the 1st of December, Sunday the 1st of December. Your supporting act is the one and only amazing Trevor John. We
Yes,
absolutely adore Trevor. He's performed many times at Hope and we love having him.
right,
And we also have a couple of community members who live in Wales. They're distant community members. And
right.
when they heard you were going to be giving a talk at Hope, they were so over the moon and they were
Oh,
like,
really? Oh,
we are
wow.
coming from, so they're traveling from Wales. But we do have some community members who have never heard of you and
Oh,
don't know what your
right.
talk is going to be like and what it's going to be about and don't know anything about you. So I thought it'd be really good for you to share exactly that. Your talk is going to be, it's called The Falsification of Science, which I
Yes,
think is rather intriguing, to say the least.
right, right,
So
right.
I'm going to open it up to you, John, to tell everybody about
Okay.
yourself.
About myself, yeah. Well, I've been a truth seeker for 27 years. I was woken by the death of Princess Diana, and that's what kind of started me down this road.
Yeah.
So yeah, ever since then, and I began writing in the very early 2000s. I began writing for various websites, published my articles, liked them, and wanted more. So, and then somebody said to me one day, "Why don't you write a book? You know, you've got a great writing style. You know, it's very engaging, easy to understand, easy to follow. Um, why don't you write a book?" So I thought, well, yeah, actually, I quite like that idea because I'd never done it before, obviously, but it was something that I'd always been interested in writing. So,
Yeah.
so I did that. And that book was called The Falsification of History, and that was my first book, and that was published in 2012. And that kind of just opened the floodgates for me. Really, it became a. I mean, when I say bestseller, I don't mean in terms of J.K. Rowling type bestsellers, but I mean bestseller in the truth movement. You know, so at the moment, I think I've sold about maybe 100,000 copies over the
That's
12 years.
that's incredible.
Yeah, so you know, it's done me very well, and since then I've written seven other books.
Seven.
Uh,
Okay, fabulous.
yeah. I'll list them. After Falsification of History, I wrote a book called RMS Olympic, which is the truth about the Titanic story, which is absolutely not what people may think.
Mhm.
The accepted official version is totally different to the reality. Stop me if you've heard this story before. And yeah, so I wrote that, and then yeah, what happened then was I actually did a YouTube presentation on my version of the Titanic story, and it was spotted by a Hollywood film director, not a very famous one, but a minor one, and she invited me over there to stay with her and try and raise some money to make a film of the real version of the Titanic. To cut a very long story short, I stayed with her for 2 weeks. We went around to see various different producers that she knew. None of them was interested apart from one guy, and he said, "You got to have a book." So that's when I wrote RMS Olympic, which is the true Titanic story. And then I wrote that in record time, and I sent him the manuscript, and he said, "No, it's got to be a novel." So, so I then wrote my next book, which is called Titanic's Last Secret, which is a novel based on RMS Olympic. I sent him the transcript of that. It takes place over the period of about 9, 10 months, by the way.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
really quick to
Uh,
write books and get them out
well,
there and
yeah. Well,
totally
I was
different
under
style of writing as well, a novel to
absolute.
a factual
Yeah,
book. Yeah.
absolutely. Novel writing is completely different to factual writing, you know, and it wasn't something I'd ever done before. But anyway, I had to go with it. But I sent him the transcript of the novel, and then he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're not interested anymore." But I got the two books out of it, and I got a nice trip to Hollywood, so it wasn't too bad. So yeah, after
I think
that,
maybe
I wrote.
he'd been told not to. I think maybe he'd been.
Oh, I absolutely think so. Yeah, definitely.
There's just
Yeah,
no
I
way
mean,
that story's going to get onto Hollywood's filming floor, is it? It's just not going to happen.
no, absolutely not. There's no way on God's green earth that would ever happen. But yeah, I thought it was worth a shot, and it didn't pay off. But like I say, I did get 2 books and a trip to Hollywood out of it. So yeah. Then after that, I wrote a book called Behind the Curtain, which was an expose of the banking industry and the about money itself and what a sleight of hand money is, and how that has enabled the people who run the banking systems to control just about everything in the world, which they do. And they can do that because they create money out of thin air. So money is no option to them, no object to them. That was a 2-volume book, a huge 2-volume book, which I'll be bringing copies of all my books with me when I come down there. So
I feel terrible because I've not read any of them, but they all sound absolutely brilliant. I know, terrible, but they all sound amazing. They all sound absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, well, we'll have to put that right, won't we? So that was a big 2-volume book, which not just about the creation of money, because some people have said to me, "Oh, banking, oh God, how dull." And I say, well, no, it's about how the banking system began and how it's enabled them to falsify history, basically, and to create all this stuff that controls our lives. And it doesn't cost them anything because money is no object. So 2 volumes of that. Then I wrote a book called JFK, A Very British Coup, which describes in great detail how the JFK assassination was run and controlled by the British Secret Service, which it absolutely was. And I go into massive detail about that and give evidence for that. And I wrote, after that, I wrote The Falsification of Science, upon which my talk for you is going to be based on. And that just details, well, obviously, I mean, the clue's in the title, isn't it? It's about how science is systematically falsified to benefit the people in power. And it's science is falsified for 2 distinct reasons. One, money, of course, and 2, to create a false reality that we all live in. And it's to make us believe that things are absolutely totally different to the reality of what they are. And this is what my talk will be about certain elements of the falsification of society, science that change society and change our perception on reality. So that's that. And my latest book was written during the COVID fiasco, and that's called Welcome to the Masquerade. I think that was all 8. I might have missed one out there. I can't remember. No, I don't think so. I think that's about it. So there'll be a nice wide variety of books for people to choose from to buy if they wish to do so.
Fantastic. And with your journey, so you've been on this journey, as you say, for 30 years-ish?
Coming up to 30, absolutely.
Up to 30 years. How does it feel now, seeing so many people aware and interested in all of this, as you say, this facade, this total false matrix, shall we say, that we've been living in? It's people that have been on this journey for a long time. I'm one of those as well. It's just so incredibly exciting, I think.
Absolutely, it's amazing.
Of people that are now aware and enlightened. It's just so exciting, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, and this has been a very slow process. I mean, when I began in this world, I didn't know anybody else. Not a single person did I know who thought the same way as I do. And it caused a lot of friction in my earlier life. And it actually ultimately led to the breakup of my marriage. It was that bad. I mean, my family at one point, they wanted me to see a psychiatrist, because they thought I'd gone crazy. And I even began to doubt my own sanity.
Hasn't it? It's during the COVID fiasco. That's happened. Many people have experienced that now.
That's right, yeah.
Matt Letitia said that. Matt Letitia said that his family thought he was going absolutely loony and wanted to be a psychiatrist.
Yeah. I've never met Matt. I'd love to one day, but if you're listening, Matt, good man.
He's a lovely, lovely man. And
I know.
It was great. He's very funny. But it's I think so many people now have experienced what that's like to suddenly take the glasses off and see this reality for what it is. Because once you see it, you can't undo it. and
No, you can't.
and your thirst for finding out more about it, because it's
Yeah,
everything. It's not just the banking system, it's not just the healthcare system, it's not just history, it's everything, every aspect of
absolutely.
our lives has been
Yeah,
a lie.
absolutely. And every single rabbit hole is connected underground. And one rabbit hole inevitably leads to another, to another, to another, and to another. And this is how I gained the masses of knowledge that I do have now about what's going on in the world. It's just following rabbit holes and researching. And, once I started doing it full time, because I didn't do it full time at first because I was still working in the IT industry at the time. But, after a few years, I actually started doing this full time. And when you're doing it full time, it's amazing the amount of knowledge that you can accumulate about reality and what's going on. I tend not to touch the esoteric kind of stuff, although I'm aware of it obviously, and I know that it's a very important aspect, but I do tend to concentrate on the concrete facts side of the equation, if you like, rather than the esoteric, although I do go into it a little bit. It's just my own preference. I mean, I choose to do it. It's not that I've got anything against the esoteric aspects. It's just that, it suits me to do what I'm interested in.
Really dissect facts and to deliver truth.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Screaming at you sometimes from the page.
So
during your talk, what sort of topics can people expect you to explore?
Right, some very, very controversial ones.
We love that though. It's right. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the three main elements of it are the Big Bang Theory, which I absolutely dissect and destroy. The flat Earth, the globe Earth, which again, I must have a caveat to that. I'm not 100% convinced that the Earth is flat. I actually suspect that it might be much, much bigger than they tell us. Okay, and I'll go into that on the day, but I absolutely do not believe that the Earth is the shape that they tell us it is. Okay, and again, I'll back this up with plenty of facts.
It's funny for me because I listen to flat earthers, and there's so much that they say that resonates with me, and then I listen to globe earthers that actually debunk a lot of it, but for me, I kind of go, I find it very difficult to trust anything that NASA's telling me.
Right. Oh gosh, yeah, NASA. Oh,
you know what I mean? And it's kind of like anything they're pushing, anything they're saying, just kind of makes me go, okay, that's definitely going to be true.
NASA stands for never a straight answer, and because they're just a bunch of pathological liars. I mean, again, it's all connected, and I go into the connections. I explain why the globe Earth, the Big Bang, and the other element to what I'm going to be talking about is evolution. I explain why those three specific elements go to make up the fake reality that we have today, and how and why it's been done. So, in a very small nutshell, that's it.
I'm really intrigued and extremely excited to come along to your talk. And I really hope that is a little, fishing hook for people just to reel them in, because it's going to be absolutely fascinating, I'm sure. And I think really important for both globe earthers, flat earthers, Big Bang, realists, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever you believe in, it's just always important that we constantly listen to other people's opinions. And
absolutely,
do you know what I mean? And that's what I love about Hope as well, is that we have many different points of view, many different beliefs, if you like, and we have some really good debates. And we have to keep that alive. We've got to keep that conversation flowing. That's how we grow as human beings.
I mean, I don't, one thing I would say is I don't pretend to have all the answers, because I don't. These are just my opinions based on my experiences and the stuff that I've unearthed over time. But everything is debatable. If it wasn't debatable, then it would be concrete fact, and there would be no debate. So I absolutely accept that people will have different opinions to me, and I welcome that. I welcome a healthy, lively discussion. So I'm sure after the event there'll be people challenging me on certain points, and I'm used to that, and I welcome it.
Yeah, excellent. Oh, well, John, thank you ever so much for that quick chat. And
You're
I am
welcome.
so looking forward to seeing you at
Thank
home
you.
on the
Likewise.
1st of December. So
Yeah,
if
I'll
you
be.
haven't got your tickets, get them and come and see
Yeah,
John.
thank you. Yeah,
Fabulous. Thank
I'll
you
be
ever
with.
so much.
That's all right. Welcome. I'll see you very soon.
See you soon, John.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye.